Hey everybody, Jabo Bihlman here, just going through the Avery Amps 18-watt Plexi. Thought we'd go through this thing today a little bit and tell you a little bit about it. Stick around.
Hey, welcome back. We're at Plan 9 Studios with my friend Jabo Bihlman. How you doing, Jabo?
Good, man.
Good. Hey, so we're taking a little time today to review the Plexi 18. This is an amp that really came out of the collaboration I had with Jabo on the Jabo 45. The Jabo 45 started out as a JTM 45, and we moved it into the Plexi range, really understanding the tone stack and understanding the player needs for how the amp should work with how your guitar and your pedals are working.
Yeah.
So I went on the search for an 18-watt version of a Plexi, and I came across the Doug Hoffman build on this, or how he has this set up, and really got into it. So I took a Hoffman, what they call Stout 6v6, and then built it with your tone stack in mind, and really came up with this Plexi 18.
Yeah, that's awesome.
A couple of things that are really good about it is that for an 18-watt, this one has 6v6 tubes instead of the EL84. This gives you a little bit more of that girth, of a Fender girth, like you would get with your KT66 or your 6L6 tubes that are really characteristics of like the Plexi. So with that, then we brought it over to have you check it out and really do the test out on it, and it hasn't left.
Never left.
No,
There was no test. It was done the minute I turned it on.
Yeah, so I've built several of these since because there's a need out there, but this is a great opportunity for us to give you an artist's perspective of long-term use of an amp and review of the amp. So, Jay, take us through a little bit about how you use the amp, how you've been using the amp, and what do you see are the features?
Well, I've been using it in the studio here for multiple recordings instead of using pedals. So in other words, like I generally will run, if I'm just going for a clipped tone, I'll run my love pedal Kalamazoo, right? Which gives me exactly what I want on just about any amp, and I love that. But I don't need to do that with this because I get some very similar tone out of this amp right out of the head, which I love the distortion that comes out of an amp, amp distortion.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
That's one of the things. I've had multiple guitar players through here and multiple guitars running through this amp in a recording situation, and they all sound great. Humbuckers to single coils. We mess around and dial it in, but I mean, that's what you got to do with any amp. So
Yeah.
it's working like a charm. It's not, blasting our eardrums out. It's 18 watt, and it can get loud, but we don't have to run it loud. I mean, this thing sounds great. We're barely cracking 2 on the master, so...
Yeah.
And for recording, sometimes that's nice, to have the lower volume, and so you're not pushing the speaker so hard.
Yeah, that's great.
And yeah, so why don't we just hop into it? I've got a Fender Mexican Powerhouse Strat here. Second position, that sounds good. So it's these 2 pickups.
Yeah, so your bridge and your middle pickup.
Bridge in the middle. I mean, that's just a nice clean tone, and Olive here.
Hey, it's the Love Machine.
Yeah.
How you doing, baby?
She just wanted to make an appearance. So yeah, second position. Let's move all the way up to the neck.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, the thing I love about it is the girth still on the bottom end. It's not all tinny. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's
if you want to pull a little bit
to the JTM 45, which ended up being the Jabo 45.
yeah, exactly.
You wanted some girth behind those pedals, right?
To get the bottom end, yes. And actually, right now, I've got the low end is turned to about okay. So let's go through that. Normal volume is going to be your rolling bottom end on this, right? It's like it kind of can control the bottom end. The bright volume is exactly what it says. It's more mid-range, high mids, all the way to the high. And then I use the presence on this quite a bit, which you and I have talked about in the past a lot. I've got the master right now. It's at about, it's actually about, it's pushing 9 o'clock, I guess. But the volumes on these are at the bottom, so it's really only cracked. It's not even 3, it's like 2.5 or so. Treble is at about 1 o'clock. Mid is also at about 1. Bass is right straight up at 12. And, as far as Just a nice clean strat tone. That's absolutely fantastic.
And that's what we had to work a lot on is really understanding the tone stack, because the Marshall tone stack can be quite bright.
Yeah.
And
or completely bottom end heavy.
Yeah. So, work with you on the collaboration as I've been building this style of amp. We've really been working on balancing that tone stack so it's more usable for the artist.
Now, are these is the TMB all tied in together like on the Jabo 45? Okay.
Yeah, it's the same idea.
So you're building your whole entire sound, well, not your whole entire sound, but you're building your treble mids and basses together. You know, which is I actually like that because it pulls in different frequencies and you can kind of round it out a little bit more.
Yep.
So anyway, here's bridge position. It's great. Back up to the neck. Okay, totally great. And that's where we've got it set. I've got the presence here at about, that was right also at about 12 o'clock. Let's do that presence thing where we did. So, so I'll put it on the second, and the presence will really be heard here. So this is second position, bridge and middle pickup.
Okay, so I'll roll it.
Yeah, I mean, so where are we at? We're at about 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
4 o'clock? And that's pretty bright. But, again, the presence is not something that I would reach for to dial in my tone very much. But on this amp, it's really effective. I can get an awesome sound where I want it and then just sort of use the presence to kind of sculpt it just a little bit up on the high end. So if you pull it back, yeah, it's warming right up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really useful. I kind of start with it at 12, which I would never do on the Jabo 45. I mean, I don't think I have that at 12. It seems like that's, I don't know, it depends. I haven't looked at it in a while.
Last time we worked with it, you were at 12. Which amazed me. But
okay.
You're blending the channels.
Right.
You're blending
Just
channels,
like
which gets us right into this space. So he's got that normal channel to bring out that beefy girth on the bottom, and the presence then has something to work against.
Yeah, exactly. And so again, clean tone, but we're cranking everything up now. So this is the old Marshall everything to 11, right?
Yeah, with that, but the master volume is keeping you at same volume.
Yeah. So what's happening is with the two channels working in conjunction, the master volume is getting all the amp clip, right? So it's still very low. I mean, that sounds pretty good. If I was gonna use this, I'd pull some of that low end off. It's also going to affect the gain a little bit.
Yeah, we should kind of balance it out.
Right? Now for this, I'd pull some of that presence off.
And we'll get into a humbucker, so like an AC/DC sound or something like that.
Yeah,
this would be classic to that as well, right? So a rocker can use it, a blues guy can use it, right?
Oh, absolutely, and
so
it's all here, which is super great.
So let's grab a humbucker, and give it a little spin, eh?
Yeah, let's.
Here, I'll unplug this.
That's all right. I'll just turn it down. There we go. What are we going for, humbucker?
Yeah.
All right, let's go with the Rev here. So
okay,
we've got the Reverend double agent.
Yep.
OG.
Yep.
Amazing guitar. Absolutely one of the most versatile guitars I have. So we've got a humbucker in the bridge, which is the original, one of the original rail hammers, and then Reverend P90 in the neck. Now this has a much different sound with the P90. It's a little darker.
Yeah, which is cool, right? But it handles the P90.
I love it. Yeah. Sounds great. So we've got kind of pulled off. The treble or volume bright is all the way up. So let's go to the humbucker. And this is going to be full-blown cranked all the way here. I mean, that's it, man. Now, the thing I love about this is when you pull off, I got the humbucker on, so we're getting full-blown everything out of this. But if I pull the volume back just a little bit, it's going to clean up quite nicely, which is absolutely fantastic from a live context, right? That's a huge one. So I'm at probably 7.
Yeah.
Right, and then your lead. It's great. I mean, it's completely versatile amp. Humbuckers, single coils, doesn't matter. This is actually my favorite position on this guitar right here. Is the
middle one?
Is the middle position with. Still get the wood. And that's all the way up. We'll crank it down just a hair. That's obviously darker. So again, with this one, I might crank up in that position. I might crank the presence back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, drive the jangle.
Yeah, that's great. And that's
awesome.
Half volume. So this would be great for a rhythm lead context where if I was playing, you know, just some A thing. Right, and then we're here.
Excellent.
It's got some nice sustain, man, and that's just all amp.
Excellent.
Amazing.
Thank you very much
really
for your
happy.
time.
Yeah, man, you got it. Great amp. And like I say, because of the volume situation, as far as master volume goes, this amp sounds amazing at a very low volume, which was kind of the whole 18-watt idea anyway, right? Is to get
Totally the idea. Because a lot of people, they're not playing the big stages, so smaller clubs, and they want something a little more portable. So 18 watt, it's got basically a clone of a Greenback Celestian. It's a Mojo Tone version. It's called the Watchtower, and it's a 16 ohm, 25 watt. Think Greenback. Very classic Marshall style sound. I would say a classic, you know, Greenback would go great in here. So,
and it's a 112 cabinet that we're running that speaker on. It's slightly off the cone, just a hair, as far as what you're hearing. I'd say a couple inches off the cone. So that's where I like to put them when I'm miking them. But
yeah,
it's an amazing amp. Very light. That's the other thing too. What is the weight on this thing? Like 10 pounds?
Yeah, it's very light.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
so it's,
even when you do it as a combo, it's probably under 30 pounds.
Yeah, it's really great.
With one speaker, you know. So.
Well, hey,
thanks for your time today.
You got it, man. As always.
I'm so glad you like the amp, and one day I might be able to have you part with it. All right, you guys have a good day out there. All right, thank you.
Looks like the weather gonna change today, and it looks like rain. Oh, you know, it looks like rain.